Good evening. We would like to welcome you to the CIAA 2016 postgame wrap-up. We are joined by the Lions of Lincoln University, led by head coach John Hill. Coach, if you could introduce your student athletes that are joining you and open up with some additional comments about tonight's game.
Yes. To my right, I have Sean James, and to my left, I have Kwame Burton. Tonight was a tough night. I thought we played extremely hard, and I thought we played very well. In spurts. Tournament basketball is all about runs. Everybody's going to make runs, and it's just about refocusing yourself and just trying to sustain and give yourself an opportunity for you to make a run to get yourself back in the game. And I thought we did that at times, but I thought we hit a drought right there late in the second half that, where we had a difficult time scoring. We had some really good looks, but the ball didn't go in for us. And then in other occasions, they had an opportunity to get out and get some really easy ones and got the benefit of the doubt of the whistle a couple of times and got to the basket and made some shots and was able to create a little bit of a cushion there. And I don't think that actually, kind of put us where we were hopeless, but I thought it just it took a lot out. We knew we had a hill to climb and still fighting to try to get it done. I still thought we just had a difficult time making some shots. Could have benefited from a few calls, but that's the breaks.
Question for Kwan. I'll address to either one of the players. You're both sophomores, so obviously you're going to have a couple more years back at Lincoln. What do you draw from this experience? Not necessarily tonight, but the whole tournament. Winning the first tournament game in the modern program, in the program's modern era.
Like I said the other day, I told Coach when I first got here that we're gonna win the ring before I leave. But yesterday was a good win for us. For one, because we was on a 6-game losing streak, and for two, we never won a CIAA game. So, after we got that win, the taste of victory was good, but when the sleep it was over. So we was trying to focus on the night.
I basically just gained a lot of experience from this playing in this huge arena in front of the people. It's definitely something I always remember for the rest of my life, and I'll be able to have that feeling of victory and defeat, so I can take it into the off season and basically just have that picture in my mind the whole time while I'm working to come back next year and produce with my brothers, just so we can keep getting better and better.
Coach, you have a pretty young team, only 3 graduating seniors. So what are some things you'll focus on as you go back to the drawing board to prepare for next season?
Well, if you know the CIAA very well, we were probably the smallest team in the league this year, which has kind of been our MO since we've been in the CIAA. But it's never really made much difference in our fight that we bring to the games. But we're going to try to include some size, see if we can add the addition of some size, so that way we can probably match up a little better with some of the bigger teams. I thought this year when we had good matchups, we played really well, but on other nights when we played against opponents who were really large, over time I think they just kind of wore us down. And I thought we hit a phase of that tonight where Livingstone really kind of forced their will on us a little bit with their post players. And we were able to kind of sustain because we started bringing a guy to trap. But as we move into the postseason, it's just about trying to get better. We got to add some bigs, and we'll add a few other players. But I like what we have. I like the group of guys we have. They got us to get some really, really good experience this year. They played a lot of minutes. They got a chance to really get a good feel for the system. So next year, I think we'll come back, very much ahead of where we were this year. We added 13 new players to our team this year. So it was all about chemistry all year. My assistant coach actually went, and now he's the head women's basketball coach. So I had to, get used to a new assistant coach and 13 new players. Next year we'll be bringing back probably at least 6 or 7 kids that have played, for the program, and we won't be adding that many. We'll probably add about 3 or 4. But nonetheless, I think experience should be one of the biggest things that we can build off of, which we were not able to build off of this year.
Rich, to the extent that you want to try and bring in size, on the surface it looks like you have a very fertile recruiting area. You figure your proximity to Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C. Metro, and New York, but you're also going up against the PSAC schools, going up against East Region powers like Philadelphia, Holy Family. Talk about the challenges of recruiting when you have so many other D2 schools in that area.
Well, you know, that was one of the reasons I took the job at Lincoln University, because of just the area, you know, being able to kind of go in a 2-hour radius and recruit as far as New York, and as south as, you know, Washington, D.C., and in retrospect to where Lincoln is located. And you're talking areas like New York, New Jersey, you know, Philadelphia, you know, various parts of Maryland, Baltimore, and D.C. and Northern Virginia. You got a scope of a span of a region there where you can really get there's some really good basketball played in those areas, and you can get to those areas within a 2-hour time frame. You know, I just think one of the challenges are, you know, you're competing against a lot of people, the PSAC, the CACC schools, and you have a couple other mid-majors. But, you know, I've built my name over the years of being able to be a really, you know, outstanding recruiter. But I think sometimes we just get outbidded. You know, you go and you recruit, and kids really like your school and they like you as a coach. But, you know, if you got $20 and I only got $10, you might go with the guy who got $20.
This concludes this session of our post-game wrap-up. We would like to thank you all for joining us.